You're listening to Metalholic Radio, and our special guest today is the lovely and talented Alissa White-Gluz of the Agonist. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks.
You guys are out on tour with Kittie right now. How's that going for you?
It's awesome. It's really a fun tour, and the shows are good, so it's really great.
Now, who else do you guys have out with you?
We have Blackguard, who are like our tour partners at this point because we toured with them so much. They're friends of ours from decades ago anyways, from Montreal, and Bonded by Blood, who are a really cool band from Pomona, California.
Nice. Of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album, Prisoners. It's coming out next month. Tui Madsen did the mixing on this one, didn't he? He just did the new Moonspell album?
Yep, that's right.
So, do you get more anxious just waiting for the response to the album, or anxious because you can't get it in the fans' hands quick enough?
Honestly, there's not even enough time to get anxious about anything because, like, the work is still not over for us. You know, like, we've been working for years composing and recording and mixing and reviewing masters, and then it goes on to doing the artwork and getting the photos done and then the music videos and the tours. So, like, we're not anxious about anything. We're just working really hard. So.
All right, and then you guys just did the photo shoot for the album and everything. So what was it like getting a chance to kick the crap out of Danny and the guys?
It was a good photo shoot. It was really efficiently done. Benjamin Von Long was the photographer, and the hair and makeup and stuff was done by me. And yeah, Von Long is a really, really good photographer. He really knows what he's doing. He's really good with composition. And it was probably the most quick and efficient photo shoot we've ever done. And it was a lot of fun, so we're happy with that.
It turned out really well. Great shots. So,
thanks.
Now, talk about the evolution, if you will, from the first two albums to the new one, Prisoners.
It's really hard to say because, like I said, the album to us is still not done. Like, we're still not done completing the album release yet. So it's really hard to say what it is compared to the other ones. I mean, I know, like, Once Only Imagine was very much like, we're on our first album, we're teenagers, this is our band, you know? Lullabies was mature in the sense that we actually knew our sound a little bit more. We had toured, so we had that experience under our belts. And now this one, I think, is kind of just, I mean, we had a lot of goals in mind when we wanted to record, and I don't really think we achieved any of them. But we did put together an album that's pretty interesting. So I think it's kind of just a lesson in kind of going with things as they come and not trying to control an artistic process too much, just going ahead with it.
What kind of goals were you hoping to achieve on this one that you felt got missed?
I mean, things that were just out of budget or things that we didn't have the time for, you know, things that would have been really, really amazing if we could have done them, but it's just not practical in this day and age. So, I mean, you know, like, we wanted to do completely analog recording. We wanted to have, like, you know, guest musicians come in. We wanted to have, you know, a different producer, a different person mastering it. None of it really happened, but, you know, whatever the circumstances were, they led to whatever the album is now, so gotta be happy with it.
It's hard with the industry being the way that it is right now. It's so DIY, and it puts everything in your hands. You guys stretch yourselves creatively, financially, put yourselves out there and get very little in return, at least in a way of making a living out of it. What keeps you guys driving to continue this when you get so little back in the way of what can keep you doing this?
I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, honestly, it's just the fact that I don't like quitting things. You know, I figured if I put 9 years into it so far, I might as well just keep going with it. And as long as we see that, you know, we're always gaining, every minute we're gaining new fans online and more people at the shows every tour we do. So seeing that there is an improvement, however slow it is, it's really hard to give up on it. But, I mean, that's just me. Like, I don't really know how the other guys feel about it.
You guys have a great internet presence, a great fan base. We put you up on Metalholic a few months ago under one of the Rock Goddess profiles, and your page gets more hits on a regular basis every day than any other the other articles on the website. It's mind-blowing. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've noticed that too, and our label has noticed that, and it's really hard to say. I don't really know why that is, but for some reason there's like a really strong interest from fans more so than from, you know, say industry, which is usually like it goes the other way around. Usually like the industry takes a strong interest and then they market and promote and then fans get into it. But it's almost like we're going like the other way, which is kind of cool because it's a lot more direct and a lot more real, I think.
Well, and I think you bring a lot of intrigue to people because you're so very well spoken, so very well read, and you know people really relate to that. You're very down to earth. You know, you can hear that when you're talking about the things that you're passionate about, and people want to get to know you better.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
I mean, it's something we didn't have in my day growing up, where it was the era of rock stars. You couldn't talk to them or touch them or anything. So
yeah.
You're so passionate about the band, you're passionate about your PETA involvement and outspoken about the state of the music industry. What else are you really passionate about, or what topics can you get into intense debates about?
I mean, I like to really just debate a lot. Some people think I'm aggressive, but I don't see it that way. I just see it as, you know, if there's a conflict in something, I want to resolve it right away, or I want to like head forward, go into any sort of topic that I might be able to learn from. So, I mean, I'll get into debates all the time, but, you know, it's just a matter of doing it respectfully because obviously, like, I've encountered a lot of situations that, you know, aren't fun and really are just conflicts. But, I mean, the biggest thing for me is animal rights. Like, that's the number one factor that sort of leads everything in my life, more than music or anything else, so.
How do you think we curb that problem in a country that's so built on greed and need?
I don't think we do at all. I mean, I think it's a huge problem, and it's refreshing to meet and see people now and then that, you know, actually do care about their impact on the planet and not just care about themselves. They care about the people they affect and the, you know, land they affect, the animals they affect, the pollution they create. But most people aren't like that, and most people are not raised to think that way and will easily just shrug it off because it's like the boiled frog syndrome, you know? It's like if I walk up to you and shoot you in the face, I'm killing you. But if I build a factory next to your house that's going to pollute the air, that's going to give you cancer and kill you in 30 years, I'm not a murderer, you know? And so I think it's just a matter of people are maybe not thinking long-term enough or just sort of living with blinders on. But, you know, I'm not, and I like to sort of hope that people are willing to take those blinders off if they have them on. And I know not everyone is, but I have encountered a few people that are, and that's always really refreshing. And I'm a big believer in the fact that, like, if you can get, you know, people from the younger generation to start caring about things and not just things that just affect them today, then it could be a huge, huge improvement in the world in, you know, 5-10 years.
So how do you see, I mean, because you're a performer, an artist, but in terms of having an impact on people, especially the young people that listen to you, the fans, how do you see your role in all of that?
I mean, I think the thing that I do the most, like, that has the greatest impact is just being vegan. It's the fact that I don't take my dollars and my money that I earn and put them into companies that I don't want to support. The fact that I don't support factory farming financially or in terms of what I talk about. I don't support animal testing, you know, I don't support industries that I think contribute to problems for the planet. I think that's my biggest impact. But then, you know, the fact that I am seeing, like, I mean, a lot of people are coming to watch me sing every night. Of course, some of them are just there for the music, but some of them actually do care about the lyrics and what I'm talking about, too. And, I mean, obviously, we're on a show. It's supposed to be a fun environment, but if somebody is willing to take it a little bit deeper and go into it, you know, and I have people come up to me sometimes that are like, you know, I just wanted to thank you because I saw, you know, I watched MTV and I saw how you helped that girl when she was getting bullied, and I've been bullied in the past too. Or, you know, I wanted to thank you because I went vegan a few years ago because of you, and I love it, and I'm healthier now. And, you know, so it's like that's really, really cool for me to see. It's hard to see that amongst, you know, because that's very few and far between. But when I do come across that, it's very refreshing.
Yeah, just knowing that you touch one person in any given crowd is a phenomenal thing. Now, you talked about your lyric writing, but how does the songwriting process as a whole work in the Agonist?
It's probably a process we should modify pretty soon, but basically there's actually 3 people that play guitar in the band. There's Simon, Danny, and Paco. And on this album, all three of them wrote songs, and, you know, obviously then put their respective instruments in, like Kel puts in the bass and Simon puts in the drums, and then I go and put in the vocals, and that's pretty much just how it works, but it's a little disjointed, so I want to try some new techniques for the next album.
So, books or movies?
Neither.
Neither.
I'd rather just talk to somebody who I think is knowledgeable and just learn that way. Because movies I fall asleep and books I fall asleep.
So how do you entertain yourself then when you're not so hard working on all these other projects?
I'll let you know when I'm not hard working on the other projects.
Oh, Alissa, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem.
Can't wait to hear the Prisoners album. I haven't even had a chance to hear it yet. And good luck, too, with all the stuff that you're doing to try and support PETA and everything else that you're involved in.
Thank you.